Look, we all do different things as we grow, and I've always had a creative streak. I wanted to be a rock star. I wanted to be a musician, but I wasn't talented enough.
Congratulations on the special, both of you. Let me start with Mr. Flom. From the world of Sebastian Bach and T. Snyder, how did you come to the world of Lulu?
Wow, you're really going back in the time machine there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I've been in the music business, as you referenced, since I was 18 years old. So I'm in year 45 and a half of my music business career, and I've had the opportunity to work with some amazing stars over the years and help them with their careers, and it's been it's been amazing. Music business has been very good to me.
Name some.
Also, I mean, everybody from Sebastian Bach and Stone Temple Pilots and Tori Amos in the early days to Paramore and Lord and so many more, Matchbox 20, et cetera. But Trans-Siberian Orchestra, I love that one. But so, look, we all do different things as we grow. And I've always had a creative streak. I wanted to be a rock star. I wanted to be a musician, but I wasn't talented enough. My dad told my brother and I when we were kids, do whatever you want to do, try to be the best at it, but just make the world a better place, because that's the only definition of success that matters. And I realized I was never going to be the best guitar player, but I always enjoyed the creative process itself. I like being on the other side and helping people with their creative process, and helping with the marketing. But so this is sort of feels natural to me that I came up with this idea to do this book. And then, not surprisingly, my daughter is creative, and she's actually studied writing and has been a writer since she was a little kid. So I called her up when I had the idea to do Lulu Is, a Rhinoceros, and I said, you want to write a book and create a little hero for kids who feel left out, put down, or bullied because the way they look, the way they feel, or the way they are? And she was like, let's go, Dad. And I was like, okay. And that's how it started.
And for Allison, from what I know, you have a background in comedy, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like, I was going through your bio and everything.
Yeah. My background, I have, varied endeavors. One of them is improvised comedy and writing for theater and television. And this was, I tried to keep comedic timing and accessibility in mind while writing the script for this too, and not make it too heavy or preachy, and instead just make it like a feel-good journey that also contains, nuance and meaning that the whole family can enjoy, anyone of any age,
So why was a rhinoceros, the central theme of the book? Of all the animals in the world, why does Lulu look into the mirror and see a rhinoceros?
Well, it goes back to the origin story, which is that I love rhinoceroses, and I spent some time in Africa. I worked to help save the rhinos because they're facing extinction for the first time in 50 million years due to human greed and superstition. And so, when I came back from the trip, I was sitting on the couch with Lulu, my bulldog, and she looks at me in the eye and says, I'm a rhinoceros too. And I said, what are you talking about? You're obviously a dog. You're small and furry, and you're on my couch. And she looks back at me. And we all have our conversations with our pets, right? So people are probably feeling, as they're listening to us or reading your words, they're probably saying, yeah, I talk to my cat or my parrot or my dog, whatever. And so she looks at me and says, can't you see I have short legs, a big body, and a flat head? I only run fast for short distances, and I'm clumsy. When I burp and snore and fart like a rhinoceros, I'm a rhinoceros. So I was like, I sort of see those similarities there, And so I just thought, wow, we have an opportunity here to open some dialogue which can promote, curiosity instead of judgment, right? That can replace judgment with curiosity, and to, have a better understanding between people, and to encourage more people to believe in themselves when people tell them all the reasons that they can't do or be who or what they want to be, right? And I love those stories about, some of the greatest brilliant inventors of all time were kicked out of school because they were too stupid or whatever, right? Or they, were told you can't be an actor, you're not a dancer, you're not a this, you can't be a basketball player, you're too short. And then there's a guy who's 5'2" playing in the NBA, right? So it's like, I love those stories about, overcoming people's perceptions and judgments of you. And I'm hoping that we will help to create more of those stories by giving someone a little character to believe in, who believes in herself.
She is confident, like ultimately the whole time she knows she is a rhinoceros, and she gets insecure and thrown off when she's met with judgment or ignorance or doubters or bullying. And then she kind of ends up on this misguided quest to prove herself to others, only at the end to be reminded of what she's known all along, which is she's exactly who she wants to be, which that's all she needs.
And then there's the song, the perfect me is me, the perfect you is you, right?
Yeah, which is kind of our like self-love anthem at the end.
She wrote those lyrics, so what the hell?
Yeah. And in that song, some of the affirmations are, I'm easy to love, I'm good enough. Things that we would love to hear people of any age walking away from the special singing that and self-affirming that. And that's part of why we wanted to make it this kind of empowering, like pop musical event for all ages. Yeah.
So I've been given this time. I have time for one last question. So we know about Mr. Flom's journey. Allison, for you, did you also, I mean, because this is so entrenched in music, did you also, want to be a rock star, and did you want to go on stage, and is this, your kind of expression in the musical domain as well?
Though I did not aspire to be a rock star, honestly, as cliche as this sounds, since I was little, I've been very lucky to be around a lot of incredible music talents. But the true rock stars to me have been those that have shaped the world with their kindness and courage. And that's who I've always been like, I want to meet that person. Like anyone who I've seen them, conquer being misunderstood or meeting challenges with grace and kindness. That's like kind of who has been rock stars to me, and that's what I have aspired to do in all of like my various work, and following in the footsteps of my dad's work in justice reform. I have always been interested in using stories and art to shape the world and to empower and to do something good. And I've known that anytime I have someone listening to me, anytime I have a platform, I have a responsibility to do good with that. And so that, more so than having a specific vision for myself as a rock star or as anything else, I've had this particular vision of the opportunity to shape the world. And I'm really proud of what we came up with, because I think this story and this TV special exemplifies a vision that we have for the world.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time, both of you, and congratulations on the special.
Thank you so much, Riju. Nice to meet you.